Hello there guys and welcome back to a brand new video, and as requested I have a Q&A for you. There's quite a lot of questions, so I will go through and answer as many as I can. Got a lot of interesting stuff, so I'm going to get straight into it. So the Star Wars Lounge has asked, when am I going to start properly getting into the EU, so expanded universe with Star Wars? What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? Well, the droid attack on the Wookiees was rather unfortunate as a clone myself, you know, down there. It's a big shame. With regards to like actually getting into EU stuff, I'm probably not really going to do that anytime soon. There's so much canon stuff that I still haven't read myself, so I'm going to focus on that, and I'm a bit of a canon junkie myself, so going to leave EU for a long time, I think. But maybe I'll get into it someday, but I don't really have any plans to. Now, Darth Jar Jar has asked who is my favourite reinforcement in Battlefront 2, and that's probably the Commando droid, I'd say. I like their swords, I like how quick they are, their weapon's really good as well. Other than that, you know, I mean, all the reinforcements are enjoyable, and to be fair, it's some of my favourite content in the game, but I would probably say the Commander Droid is that. SV has asked, what got me into doing YouTube, and do I have any advice for people starting or thinking about starting? So, what got me into it really was the overall excitement and hype around Battlefront 2. The trailer came out, I was incredibly excited. I was literally sat in this room for hours a day just brainstorming ideas for content we could get in the game. So I think that for me was the big turning point, and then me being an identical twin, seeing Star Wars HQ go to events like EA Play and stuff like that was quite a big inspiration as well. So it's kind of like, well, if they can do it, so can me and my brother, because obviously that's how it started off. So that was a big thing for me as well. Any advice for people starting, I'd say, don't worry about numbers at all. Like, it's obviously great at feeding if a video does really well. It's obviously, you know, kind of sucks if it doesn't, but just don't worry about that. Don't focus on that at all. Just have fun when you're making your content or you're streaming. If you're not having fun, don't do it. There's no point. It's not a get rich quick sort of scheme. Don't ever go into that mindset either, because I think a lot of people kind of start it for the wrong reasons. They almost start it because they see people like KSI like earning millions a year from it. It's like, you can't go into the mindset like that at all. Main tips, I think, is be consistent as well. So obviously have fun, but upload on a regular schedule and stick to that as much as you can. Ryan has asked, single saber, star saber, or dual sabers. I think for me, I'd definitely go dual sabers. Nick Laps has asked, do I read Star Wars books? I do. He also says, what is my favourite book and why? His most recent book is Dark Disciple, maybe the best thing he's ever read. So I think for me, my favourite book is Twilight Company. The reason why, it gives a really nice insight to Rebel soldiers during the Galactic Civil War, you know, against the fight of the Empire. It kind of ties into Empire Strikes Back really nicely. You obviously get Outpost Beta from Battlefront 2015, Outpost Delta from Battlefront 2 in the book as well, so it's a really nice tie into the games, which I really enjoy. And obviously, like I said, it's nice. It's almost like a nice gritty war story as well, which I think is a lot of fun to actually get into. So Chris has asked, who is my main hero in Battlefront 2 and how old I am? I am 20. Main hero for the light side in Battlefront 2 is Luke, and the main villain for Battlefront 2 is Darth Maul. Neil has asked, in my view, what is Battlefront 2's biggest failing and what is its biggest success? So I'd say the biggest failing obviously is launch. I think if nothing wrong happened, everything would have been pretty normal, I'd say. I think the game would have turned out completely different, to be fair, as well, but the progression system, launch, and all that stuff was just a massive fail. Biggest success was probably the Celebration Edition. That's what got a ton of new media attention. IGN re-reviewed the game from a 6.5 to like an 8.8 or something. It sold a ton of copies. It doubled the player base within a month as well. So I think that was probably its biggest success. And with regards to failings as well, obviously it's a shame that the game has ended in terms of content support. And I do think that it was a terrible time to be able to do that. Like there's no other multiplayer Star Wars game. There's a ton of content that they can add to this game, so I don't and I understand that EA got this other next Battlefield title to do, but I just think if they actually carried on doing this, they could have added so much more to it, and it really is a shame. Chazawiki asked, how do I make my videos? Filming, editing, thumbnails. So making videos, well, with this I'm just recording in Streamlabs with the face cam and stuff like that. Other times though, I mean, in terms of gameplay, it's just, you know, save on the PlayStation and then get it on USB onto here, or it's through Streamlabs recordings and stuff like that if I'm genuinely having a sit-down gameplay session. In terms of editing, I use Premiere for the actual video editing, stuff like that, and then I use Photoshop and Illustrator for some graphics and things like that. And then thumbnails, most of the time thumbnails are done by Fireblue, though on my second channel I will be doing all of them, and I've done some thumbnails for this channel as well, and that is also done in Photoshop, so a lot of Adobe software, with voice recording as well. This is done in Streamlabs as well, but then I'll be post in Audition, again Adobe software, so a lot of Adobe stuff basically. The KJ Ninja asked what is my favourite game mode in Battlefront 2, which is Galactic Assault. I mean, he doesn't ask why, but I'll go into it briefly. Basically, it's just the fact that it's a large-scale, linear game mode. I just really enjoy that. It really tells a story and all the different Star Wars stories within the 3 eras, so I really do enjoy that. Luke the Nuke asks what is my favourite character in all of Star Wars, which is Plo Koon. Don't really know why, to be honest. He just looks awesome, and I kind of, from a young age, really liked him, and then going into Clone Wars and seeing how his character develops there was really, really nice to see. Millennium Nugget asked if we can have a video of me singing the Duck song, which isn't going to happen. Jabba the Chunk asked what my favourite Star Wars movie is, which is Revenge of the Sith. Just under a week ago, so like last Monday I think when I'm recording this, so when this goes up it would have been a week and 2 days ago. It was Jude's birthday, so happy birthday, Jude. Battlefront Leopard says, do you think the petition will work, or do you think there will be a Battlefront 3? So I personally don't think it will work. I mean, I think there's around 75,000 signatures right now as I'm recording this, which is obviously a large number, but that's not, I don't think that's anywhere near what they get on a weekly player number. It could do something, but honestly I don't. I think it's going to get to a point and then EA will officially have to come out and say something. They'll have to at least consider it, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Like, all of DICE has moved over to the next Battlefield game, and that's going to be their focus. They're not going to set up like another studio or pass it on to other people just for that. I mean, they could, but I just don't really think they'll see it being worth it. The game's 2.5 years old now, which is quite an old game for a multiplayer game as well. So I don't really think it's going to happen. I think we could see Battlefront 3, but if we do, it won't be for like another 5 years, to be honest. We'll see Battlefield 6 come out in a year and a half's time. They'll service that for a while, and then maybe after that they'll give Battlefield a bit of a break and come back to Battlefield 3, but honestly I have no idea. You just can't really be sure. And then Owen asks, if you were to stream one game only for the next 2 years on both Twitch and YouTube that wasn't Star Wars, what would it be and why? God damn. And then he says, I like your Star Wars content, thank you, but I didn't want to obviously sound like Fallen Order and then Yo-Yo Star Wars, which is fair enough. I actually don't know. I wouldn't necessarily stream one specific game. I think it would have to, if it was one specific game, maybe Fortnite, because that I know will go on for a long time to come. Like, Epic Games have already said about how they're going to be updating it into Unreal 5 and stuff like that. So, and I have really enjoyed playing that game as well, so I'd probably say that. But like, if it had to be one specific game, I wouldn't want to stream Call of Duty Modern Warfare for 2 years if that wasn't getting content updates in a year's time, sort of thing. If I was allowed to choose a franchise though, I would then go and say Call of Duty. So this obviously Modern Warfare now, and then go into like the next whatever is Black Ops or whatever's coming next. Basically, I'd probably do Call of Duty if it was allowed to be that. But if it was a single game, it would probably have to be Fortnite if it wasn't Star Wars related, because they constantly update that. The seasons coming out, Battle Pass, stuff like that. I do enjoy the game still, so yeah, that would probably be it. Killian also asked what my favourite Star Wars character, which, as I said earlier, was Plo Koon. GN asked which out of all my videos is my favourite that I've made. So I would probably say my Battlefront 2 Year 2 review. So I did, on January 1st this year, I released a video about all of 2019. So January 2019 to December 2019, I basically did a whole video kind of reviewing all the updates there. So I think that was my favourite video, to be honest. It was quite a long one. It took me a very long time to make, but I really enjoyed doing it. Getting all the gameplay, editing it and stuff like that, it took me a very long time, and I just think it was a really fun thing to do. So Yeah, I also made, obviously, a couple of days ago, I released the top 10 features I want to see in Jedi Fallen Order. That was a fun video to make. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. There wasn't too much to add to that other than, like, the main meat of that was in the discussion, so I wasn't too worried about what gameplay and stuff like that was, but yeah, hopefully you guys liked those ideas, and that was also a really fun one to do. Yoda Epic has asked what is my favourite thing about doing YouTube, and I think for me, it has to be like engaging with everyone, like meeting all these new people, because over the last 2 years I've met a ton of amazing friends, people like GN, Sammy Boy, Twisted, Nivalef, Fire Blue, God knows how many other people, like they're just Zorkin as well, Bramster. There's so many people that I've met now that I can call friends, and like, sorry if I missed anyone out, but there are just so many people right now, and it's just, I've met so many amazing people. You guys as well are awesome, you know, always supporting me and stuff like that, and it's really fun to engage and talk with you guys as well. So that's probably my favourite thing about it. The Last Jedi 26 asked who's my favourite viewer. I can't say I don't have one. I'm going to say I don't have one because I genuinely don't. Everyone is supporting me. I mean, The Last Jedi 26 down here has actually been probably one of my longest subs of all time. He was here since I was about 34 subs, which is basically when I started again properly. So Harrison is literally the OG. But yeah, I don't have a favourite viewer. I'm sorry. I'm adopted. Says, can you speak Wookiee? I cannot. And then the last question is from Orlando. He has, what do you think about Brexit? Haha, eggy. No, so on a real note, if you're the head designer for Battlefront 3, if there was one to come out, which direction would you take it? Would you make it have elements from both Battlefront 1 and 2, or would you have one, or just one of the games, or would you just create a completely new style? I'd love to see you turn this into a video about what your Battlefront would be. So I probably will definitely do a video on that at some point, but I'd love to have elements from both Battlefront 2015 and 2017. Things like Galactic Assault and Starfighter Assault and Heroes vs Villains from 2017, I loved. That was fantastic. You know, all the customization in the game as well was amazing. I really want to keep that. Like with Galactic Assault and Starfighter Assault as well, large scale linear modes that tell stories, I think is fantastic. It's an amazing thing for the Star Wars franchise to have. As for Battlefront 2015, I'd love to see HUT contracts return. We had challenges in Battlefront 2017, but didn't really feel like any kind of, they didn't really feel worth doing. It's just 500 credits, 1,000 credits, 15 crystals. So it's just like, well, I mean the crystals thing I don't really mind, but it's just like the credits. It's just, I mean we barely had anything to spend our credits on anyway, which is unfortunate. But it was more, they didn't really feel worth doing. Whereas HUT contracts, you always had star cards or upgrade star cards, new weapons, stuff like that by completing challenges, and I really enjoyed doing that. And it kind of felt a bit different. Like it's a HUT contract, you're almost like a mercenary working for the Empire or the Rebels or something like that. So I'd really like to see that come back as well. I think that would be an awesome thing to have. Obviously with Battlefront 2 as well, that had all 3 eras, so I'd have that in the Battlefront 3 as well. I don't want to limit the amount of content we have in the game by just focusing on one era. Also from Battlefront 2015, I would like to see diorama come back. That was a lot of fun. Obviously you complete a bunch of challenges in the online, then you get these diorama pieces and stuff like that to kind of create those scenes. I'd love to see that back as well. That was really cool. I don't really think there are any other massive features I'd want to see from both Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2. Obviously I really want to see kind of galactic conquest come from the original Battlefront games as well. I think that would be awesome. But apart from that, I'd probably, you know, taking all those features and putting it into another Battlefront 3 and then adding a ton of different things, which I haven't really thought about too much, but I will get onto at some point in a video. But yeah, hopefully that, guys, answers your questions. I think I've pretty much got through everything there, so that's going to be it from me today though. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.